Hi everyone, thanks for being with me. It's Tony Tonkin here from the Child Protection Party. It's been a while since I've done a live feed, so I kind of stuffed it up at the beginning. But this is an important one to have, and I've just came across this video, which is a news item from Channel 9 that I think most people would certainly be interested in. And I'm having trouble connecting to my Facebook, so I can't see whether or not there are questions or whether this is coming to, well, it looks like it's happening. So, look, the reason why I've done this is that there's this Channel 9 broadcast that has highlighted an issue for me, which is something I've been dealing with for years. That is about parents who say that their children are being abused while in care, or children are being placed with another person, a member of the family, who are abusing them. And in this particular case, this grandmother had been reporting to the department for many years about her granddaughter, who she believed was being sexually abused by the father. Now, the department gave the child to the father because they believed that he was the best person to care for this child, as opposed to the department itself. And he, since the child was very, very young, he'd been sexually abusing her. And the department dismissed her claims and told her that they weren't relevant, that they believed that the father was a respectable, decent person. Now, often family members know who other family members are and are aware of their behaviours and want to warn others about them. But on many occasions, far too many occasions, this isn't heard. People are ignored. They're told that they're just stirring up more of a mess, that they have justification for wanting to say these particular things about other members of the family, that the comments that they're making are spurious. But the reality is that many parents understand the conditions in which their children are being placed, and they want to do something about it, but they don't get heard. So I'm going to play this video for you, which is really recent. It only came out, picked it up on Twitter only an hour ago. I'll play it for you. If you've got any comments, please make those comments below and let me know what you think. Here's the video, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
9 News can reveal an Adelaide toddler was subjected to abhorrent sexual abuse for more than a year because child protection authorities refused to act on concerns her father was a pedophile.
The little girl's grandmother says repeated pleas for the man to be investigated weren't taken seriously until police found sickening video evidence.
The law prevents us from revealing her identity, but there's no stopping this grandmother from telling her story.
Yeah, you don't know what it's like to know your granddaughter is in the care of a pedophile, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Her granddaughter was only months old when she was placed in the sole care of her father by the Department for Child Protection, and almost immediately the woman had serious concerns about his behaviour.
We came across some videos on my daughter's laptop that he tried to delete, and we took them to the department and to the police, but nothing was done.
Whilst disturbing, the videos alone were not direct proof of pedophilia, but over time there'd be more clues passed on to the child's caseworker.
He'd been watching animated child pornography, and we raised that with the worker, and the response we got was, I don't know whether police take cartoons as seriously.
She says requests for a meeting with the department to discuss the concerns were refused, and at least 2 emails detailing complaints failed to lead to action.
And at one stage, a worker said to me, it's like you want them to have been abused.
In November 2021, the grandmother's concerns were justified. The father charged with abusing the girl for more than a year from the age of 3, filming his despicable acts and sharing them online. The man pleaded guilty to the offending, which the judge said was the most serious of its kind, his own lawyer describing his actions as abhorrent and a terrible breach of trust. The little girl is now in foster care, but the impact of her father's abuse remains clear. The court has heard she is suffering night terrors and behavioural issues, which are often seeing her excluded from school activities and separated from her classmates. The trouble-plagued Child Protection Department has acknowledged the quality of practice in the case was not to a standard expected by the community and that it's caused significant distress for the child and family involved. A review has revealed gaps in practice which have been followed up.
She's got to live with this for the rest of her life.
And it didn't need to happen.
It didn't need to happen. The only reason I'm speaking out is to bring reform to the child protection system.
The grandmother wants changes so that concerned family members can legally record conversations with department caseworkers, claiming that she could have exposed incompetence and even conflicts of interest much sooner. Ben Avery, 9 News.
So, like most parents that are interested or concerned at least about their children, here's a grandmother who raised significant issues, but clearly the department failed to investigate them because the department will often see the parent as the problem. I've been working with someone for many years around the 2 daughters that had been sexually abused by their father. And the department, and we've taken the issue to the police, no one believes them. For one of the children, they were too young for them to be able to provide any substantive evidence. But I know from experience that this thing happens all the time. Now, the department needs to understand that parents often tell them things that they do because they are concerned about their children. Not because they want revenge necessarily, but because they are simply concerned about what's happening to the kids. I don't know how many parents I've had talk to me about children appearing at accesses with their hair messed up, with scratches and scrapes and stuff on their body which they didn't get when they were with them, where they are literally concerned about the standard of care that they're getting, let alone being sexually abused by their carer. We've had heaps and heaps of cases recently where, from around Australia, where children are being abused by the system because the system itself is failing to look after them. And as a result of that, there is no way that there's no transparency, there's no consequences for those that are responsible for making decisions that put children in harm's way. There is no way of saying you were wrong, you shouldn't have your job, that there's very little investigation unless the matter goes towards a coroner. If the department investigates it themselves, they cover it up anyway. They're not going to put their hand up and admit that we've made a mistake until someone in authority tells them that they have. And the time has come when we must make a stand against the department's inability to be able to protect our children. It is time that the department started to analyse where children could be placed that is better for the children. And often the places in which they could be placed are actually with their parents. We need to think about changing the way we view the department entirely. Look, we've got, in South Australia here, we've got a new Chief Executive Officer. Heaven only knows what she will be like. She was in charge of corrections prior to that and clearly made a botch of all of that anyway. So who knows what she's going to be able to do with the Department of Child Protection. They all say the same thing. I'm going to have a chat to the staff. I'm going to make sure that the culture changes. The culture never changes. Never. And it's about time we made a stand to let people know that kids are being harmed until such time as the department finds different ways of working, until they start to implement processes that are going to benefit the children rather than themselves. Look, thanks for being with me, everybody. Look, if you'd like to make a comment, please make a comment below. We'd be delighted to hear from you. And you contact us or contact Avery in particular at admin@childprotection.party. Any questions, any queries, let us know. Any comments, anything you want to do. We are still interested in interviewing people who've got a story to tell. We'd love to hear from you. That's my thing these days, is doing interviews with people who've got fascinating stories, which are a lot of people. So let us know, and particularly if there are issues around child protection, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks, everybody. Take care and look after yourselves.